Have you ever felt like English speakers are using a secret code? You know, the basic verbs like go, look, and get? But then suddenly people are adding more words to it. For example, like go over, look into, or get by. And as you can see from there, the meaning completely changes. If you do, then hi, and allow me to introduce myself. I am Elida Sofia from LG2401B, and welcome to the world of phrasal verbs. So phrasal verbs, they are the vital topic of casual English. So today we are going to decode them and look at how they're built, solve some tricky quizzes, and also give you the tool to start them naturally. But before we get started, allow me to explain what verbs are. Verbs are words that express actions, events, or states of being. For example, run, jump, think can exist. So, a phrasal verb is just a standard verb paired with a particle. So, what is particle? It is usually a preposition or an adverb. The trick is that you can always guess the meaning by looking at the individual words. Like, think of it like a chemical reaction. You can get hydrogen and oxygen. They are gases, but when you put them together, you can get water. That is just a simple metaphor for me. Alright, now allow me to explain a little bit what are the particles. Firstly, we have prepositions. Prepositions tell us where or when. They link things together. For example, we have in, on, and also into. Secondly is adverbs. What is adverbs? Well, adverbs, they tell us how someone does something, or mainly it's describes something. Mostly it ends with an ly. For example, slowly, loudly, and quickly. Alright, now let's continue. Take the verb run. We know what that means, but look what happens when we add particles. First example is run into. Well, run into means to meet someone unexpectedly. Second is run out of. It means to have none left. Thirdly, we have run over. It means to hit something with a vehicle. Okay, see, we only use one verb, which is run, but we have three different particles there, and the meaning completely changes. That is what phrasal verb is. Now, not all phrasal verbs are mysterious. Some are obvious. If I say, please sit down, you are literally moving in a downward direction. But most of the ones that is tricky to us are the idiomatic phrasal verb. For example, the word give up. Well, it has nothing to do like what the word is saying. It doesn't mean handing an object in an upward direction. The meaning is completely different. It means to quit. Okay, just a pro tip, don't try to memorize every single verb in the dictionary. Instead, we can learn them in families. For example, we can take one verb. For example, like take. And learn its partners. We have take off, take over, and also take in. It's much easier that way. Next, what do we have here is the four main categories of phrasal verbs. Number one, we have intransitive. Second, transitive and separable. Third, transitive and inseparable. Fourth is the three-word phrasal verbs. Okay, now so let's look into the four main categories for phrasal verbs. These generally fall into four buckets based on their grammar. For example, number one is intransitive, which means no object needed. These don't need an object at all because they are naturally inseparable. For example, the plane took off. You don't take off something, the action is complete. Secondly, we have transitive and separable. For this one, you can put the object in the middle or at the end of a sentence. For example, turn off the light or turn the light off. Thirdly, we have transitive, which is, or we call it inseparable. The focus for this is the object must follow the particle. For example, I ran into my boss. It's never I ran my boss into. It just sounds unnatural and it doesn't make sense. Lastly, we have three-word phrasal verbs, which means these are almost always inseparable. For example, I can't put up with this noise. Alright, now let's see a real life scenario. Imagine you're at work. Someone says, hey, can you look over this report? It means examine. Second is, sure, let me finish up this email first. In this context, finish up means to complete something. Thirdly, I don't want to bring the meeting up. if he's busy. In this context, bring up means to mention. Do you notice how natural that sounds? That is phrasal verb. It makes you sound more like a local. Okay, that is the end of my lesson about phrasal verb. But before we end this, it's quiz time. So let's practice some phrasal verbs that we have learned. I'll give you a question, then we can solve it together. So question number 1. We've run blank space of coffee. We need to buy more. So is it A, into, B, out, or C, over? The answer is B, out. So run out in this context means you have nothing left of it. Question number 2. Is this sentence correct? Can you help me look for them? Yes, it's correct. So look for in this context is inseparable. So them stays at the end. We've come to a last question, which is number 3. Fill in the blank. Could you blank space over this contract? It's look. To look over. This means to examine something. Phrasal verbs can feel overwhelming, but you don't need to learn 500 of it today. Let's start with 5. Just like what I said earlier, let's start with the families. You can start taking a verb and then you can start adding more particles to it. We have preposition and also adverb. Use them in a sentence or write them down. That would be all for me. Thank you for watching and see you in the next one. Bye bye.